Hi everyone, so today I'm going over my favorite eyeshadow palettes that you can get at Sephora because the Sephora sale, the Beauty Insider sale, starts tomorrow. So if you are VIB Rouge, tomorrow you can go to Sephora and save 20%. And this is 20% off on everything. I don't even think there's exclusions. There was some super fine print, but it probably just says that you can't buy gift cards, not valid on previous purchases, that kind of crap. But like product wise, I'm not seeing exclusions. So for VIB Rouge, Friday, October 26th through Monday, October 29th is when you can shop. The code for online is ROUGEBONUS, in all caps, I guess would be best. You could probably do it in lowercase. And then if you are a beauty insider, you can shop from November 2nd to November 5th. And Rouge can also shop them, but you just get first pick. You get an email and then it tells you holiday bonus, 20% off. And then there's barcodes at the bottom. I never got anything in the mail. I don't know, I usually do, but unless it came today, I didn't get anything in the mail. So make sure you check your email, you check your spam, and save the date. So let's talk about palettes. When sale time comes, I usually tell people to get their Natasha Denona. Something that you need to grab ASAP during this sale. I honestly thought it would sell out before this, but Natasha Denona has the Star palette. She made a mini that is limited edition for holiday. What that means is it's $25. It's 5 shades out of this original large Star palette. And you get a good amount of shadow. It's not like you're getting some little tester size thing. It's a great palette. I would recommend it because the 5 shades in it are my 5 favorite shades from this palette right here. I did a full review on the Star palette. And I did a look with only the shades that are in the mini Star palette. So I'm gonna link that below. It will be in the description box. You can go there, you can check it out. And there's swatches and stuff there too. If you're not into the colors that were in the mini Star palette, my next recommendation for Natasha Denona would be the Lila palette. Of every palette I've ever owned from Natasha Denona, Lila is my favorite. And it doesn't look like it was used too much. I go into this shade quite a bit. That shade is called Layla. And it just has a really beautiful transition shades, plums. Like this is, I think it came out last year, but it's really on trend for this year. This would be a great purchase also. The only thing it doesn't have is that like flat kind of skin color shade that I kind of like to put all over my eye. But that's fine because that's in millions of other palettes. Also from Natasha Denona, the 5 pans. Okay, we're gonna talk about the 5 pans. I just got the Camel palette. This is a great basic palette. This has transition. It has a beautiful, like sparkly kind of shade. This has literally everything you're gonna need. I mean, if you just want a day palette that you can amp yourself up for night, Camel is for you. I also put this on my blog with my swatches and the eye look, and I'm going to link that below. The other 3 that I have and also love, if you're into khakis or greens, this is palette 09. So this is a lot of shimmer. These 2, I can't remember if I put them on my blog or not. This one is palette 04 and this is palette 02. Palette 02 is sort of kind of like a condensed version of Lila with like the purpley plum taupes. And then palette 04, did I call that one 04? I don't know. This one's palette 04. This has more of like your metallic gold, white gold, rose gold. Like these are beautiful. I mean, this, you might want to grab palette 04 in addition to like Lila and the mini Star. If your budget allows, please just buy all the Natasha Denona because at least you have the discount. I think when it all comes up, I think I'm gonna grab the gold palette because people are raving about that. I didn't go for the Safari. I love mattes, but people were saying that the mattes were terrible. And it's an investment to buy Natasha Denona, and even with 20% off, I don't want crappy mattes. So unless I can play with it in person, which is likely not going to happen because I'm getting microbladed tomorrow also, I'm probably not going to go for Safari. But I do want the gold palette and the new Huda Beauty nudes palette, but that's not out till November 1st or 2nd. It's whatever day is in between the Rouge and the regular VIB, because it's going to be out for a whole day before the regular VIB pops up. And it hopefully won't sell out. I feel like they're going to do that thing where they put limited quantities just for that sale, and then when the sale's over, they're going to restock it. So I'm going to hope I can get the nudes, but I mean, speaking of Huda Beauty, I have the Topaz palette. I think these are limited edition Topaz Obsessions. I don't have the review up for this yet. I do plan on putting one up. I've done the swatches. I did an eye look that I flipping love with this. I love this palette. I also bought Emerald. I haven't played with it yet. This one doesn't have every shade that you're going to need in it, but it has a good, very light transition shade that works for me. If you're darker complected, it might not work for you as transition, but it might be a good all over color. And I just think the tones of it are beautiful. And this is my birthstone, Topaz. And I don't like this as my birthstone. I've always been so disappointed in that as my birthstone. But as a palette, like, I'm proud of my birthstone now. So in terms of Urban Decay, I was sitting here trying to think of all of these palettes that they've released lately. What are the top 2 that I would recommend? So I went over the Naked Cherry collection. I will link that below. I swatched it, I talked about it, and I'll also link my blog post. I would rather see you buy Backtalk. And I talked about that a little bit in that video. You get the blushes in Backtalk, and you also get the shadows. And it's a little bit more neutral than Cherry. It's not as vibrant and in your face. I think it's more wearable. And I think you can just do a lot more everyday type things with it. So budget-wise, if you're looking to just pick up something that you know you're going to wear quite a bit, Backtalk. I also really love Naked Heat. And the original Naked, they're getting rid of it, which is just devastating to me, but it's 50% off. And you can use that coupon with the sale stuff. So if you want original Naked, it's really the time to get it. But Naked Heat, I take this on vacation with me in the summer, like when we go on vacation, because it has every shade I need. It has the bone color, it has a transition color, it has darker transition colors. It has, if you're into warm eyeshadows, you need it. Just please buy it. Do yourself a favor, Naked Heat. If you have read my blog for a few years, because I think it's been out a few years, you will know that I'm obsessed with Tartelette in Bloom. This palette has the best mattes. You can't tell, I mean, because we're getting a glare anyway, but there are so many dips in this little quadrant right here, plus that one and that one. I love Tartelette in Bloom. This is the best Tarte palette that there is. For Too Faced, there's really only one palette that just right off the top of my head, I was like, yeah, I would recommend the crap out of that. And that is the Sweet Peach palette. This is the original Sweet Peach. I have had it for a while. It still smells like peaches. It smells good. I love using the khaki shade, bless her heart. There's great mattes. There's great shimmers. This one is a really good palette if you don't mind that peachy fragrance. This is the Dior Backstage Eye Palette in the warms. A lot of people did not care for the warm. I personally do. I haven't tried the cool. I'm sure it's great. Also, when I swatched in store, I wanted the warm more and I wasn't buying both. The only thing I don't like, you can't tell really, but right there, can you see how gross that primer is? Like, look, like I just swiped it and hopefully you can tell, but the powder that was on it just drags across. It's disgusting. The shadow powder gets all through it and it's nasty. But I did an eye look with this, swatched it. I will link that below. Finally, we're going to talk about ABH. So I have here Modern Renaissance, Prism, Soft Glam, Norvina, Sultry, and I have Subculture. Let me get it. Subculture. I have an obsession with buying these because she did a palette with Mario. I missed it. I regret it. And I said, I'm never going to miss another ABH palette ever again. Subculture, I like it. I have a blog post. I'll link it. I did eye looks using every single shade in this palette. It is not a palette that you can grab and go and use. So you do have to work with it. I got some really cool looks out of it, and my photo quality for my eye looks back when this released was not as good as I can do now, which I really don't feel like it's that great now either, but back then it was pretty bad too. So at least it shows you there's swatches there, and I go really in depth about every single shade. Sultry. This one is the newest. It's okay. I'm wearing it today on my eyes. It's not, for me personally, it's not one that I will wear a lot because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 matte shades, but they're not matte shades that I'm going to reach for. I mean, there's just, it's a lot of metallics that you do have to use wet. And I mean, the packaging is probably my favorite part of it, but unless you are super into wearing metallics and metals, like the silver in Cyborg is gorgeous, I wouldn't recommend this one. If you are somebody that is super into just wearing metallics on your lids, yes, you will love this because the quality is there. But again, for me, I would prefer Subculture over Sultry. My most favorite ABH palette is probably going to shock you because I love neutrals. Norvina is my favorite. Norvina is my favorite because I love how the layout is. All the mattes are on the bottom, shimmers are on the top, and I can get amazing looks out of all of these shades and mostly natural looks out of all of these shades. It's on trend. It's just beautiful. I think that if you're going to get a palette that has purples in it, but you want neutrals, if you don't want to get Lila, which is really expensive, I would honestly probably recommend Norvina over Lila anyway. I think Norvina is limited edition. Pretty sure it's not sold out. Prism is one that I bought because I thought it would complement Subculture well, and it does. I did a look with this. I don't know that I ever actually ended up reviewing it on my blog, but I did a look with this that I'm completely obsessed with. And I don't even remember what shades I used. Probably Dimension was something, I don't know. The look is one of my favorite of all time, and I use it as my profile image on like Facebook, Instagram. So again, the mattes in here to me are a little bit better than the ones that are in Sultry, but you're getting more color. So again, it's preference on what you like. Modern Renaissance, we all probably have this by now, right? A warm toned, it's got some neutrals in it. Somebody put up an image of all of the ABH palettes together, and if you remove the pops of color, they all look like flippin' identical. But Modern Renaissance is one that if you're into the neutrals, if you like a little bit of pinks or burgundies, then you're going to like this. The quality in all of these is there. People don't really like Subculture, but I did. I think it was really great. Last but not least, Soft Glam. Soft Glam, one of my favorites. It has more mattes than metallic. This was another one I took on a trip, and this is the only palette I took on the trip. It is literally perfect. I love everything about it. I don't think I reviewed this one either because I think I bought it with the Amrezy highlighter, which is apparently coming back out. I don't know when. And I don't think I ever reviewed it. And I love it. It's fantastic. So out of all of the ABH palettes that I have sitting here, I would say you absolutely need Soft Glam. You absolutely need Norvina. You mostly need Modern Renaissance. That would be my third favorite. Fourth favorite, I would say Subculture. And the only reason it would be fourth and not even above Modern Renaissance is because I think that people just won't get as much use out of it as they would those other ones. Prism has crazy pops of color in it. If you're into this type of color, yes. And then Sultry, absolutely. If you love the metallics, yes, please get Sultry because it is fantastic. But for me, I'm starting to like mattes a lot more than any kind of metallic. And though I have fun doing metallic looks, in my day-to-day, I'm mostly going for mattes. And that might just be with my age. But I'm not super into metallics anymore. I'm more into just a more, I hate to say natural because on this viewfinder, my eyes look really dark with the liner that I put on. I mean, right now I'm wearing, I have Fresh all over from lid to brow, and then Birch's Transition. I think I did Twig to deepen it, and then I had Slate on the lid and just kind of brought that up. And I put Rose Quartz just not wet, totally dry at the inner corner, and that was enough for me. I know a lot of people like that in your face look, and for them, Sultry is going to be a huge yes. Those are the eye palettes that just off the top of my head I think are a good idea to buy. There is also a lot of new brands at Sephora. I think, didn't Jouer come to Sephora already? If not, they're supposed to. But Jouer, and then also Charlotte Tilbury is at Sephora now. For Charlotte Tilbury, I know this is about palettes, but get Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. I will link it below. I use it constantly. I'm wearing Iconic Nude today, but I love her liners. They are amazing. I also really love IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I talk about that constantly. I would recommend, I hate saying this is a Sephora video. So it's 20% off for the VIB sale at Sephora. IT Cosmetics is doing their Friends and Family. I think it starts October 30th, but it's 25% off for the IT Cosmetics Friends and Family. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't want it to be super long. That's why I focused on palettes. I did a post last year of the palettes that you need for the VIB sale. I think it was pretty similar to what this is. I'll link that below if you want to see it. I had done a poll on Instagram before the last sale and said, hey, do you guys want to see like all my picks? Do you want to see hair? Do you want to see, you know, or just like eyeshadow palettes? And eyeshadow palettes won by a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.